Africa is never really as bad as the media portray it. I still firmly believe in the fundamentals of the economic story of Nigeria.
This is Paul Onwuanibe, a Nigerian entrepreneur, and he built the biggest tourism and entertainment center here in Nigeria called LandMark Africa.
I would say that we're probably looking at something north of $250 million in enterprise value.
This is I'll say the #1 tourist destination in the whole of Africa.
In its bustling hub, LandMark Africa hosted over 80 different businesses, giving jobs to more than 16,000 people. Every week, it welcomed around 20,000 visitors who couldn't resist its relaxing atmosphere. It was becoming more and more popular, and LandMark was recording their highest profits since its existence. But on the 7th of March of 2024, everything changed.
The popular attraction and tourist destination in the city, LandMark Beach, and is facing a controversial dredging project to make way for a new coastal road.
The Lagos State government has issued a notice of demolition, saying the property obstructs the planned route of a 700-kilometer coastal road intended to connect the state with Calabar.
In just 1 month, the one-stop spot for leisure and fun in West Africa became nothing but ruins, and the thriving $250 million business crumbled. But why? Why did this happen? How could a business that brings in millions of dollars in taxes for the government suddenly be destroyed like this? Is the government targeting Paul out of spite, or is this part of a much larger problem? That is what we will uncover in this video, so stay tuned, because this is not just any story. This is the story of the rise and fall of the LandMark empire. In 2007, Paul Onwuanibe ventured into Nigeria and established LandMark Group, a real estate and property development company with a focus on residential, commercial, and recreational spaces.
I took a helicopter ride and looked around Lagos for a piece of land to buy.
Acquiring a parcel of land along the shoreline in Oniru, Lagos, he adhered to the Nigerian Coastal Environmental Protection Law, which mandates a distance of 250 meters from the shore for construction. After acquiring this land, he built the LandMark ecosystem. Now, at the time of the construction of this ecosystem called LandMark Village, the LandMark beachfront was never part of the business plan. The LandMark business revolved around the ecosystem on the land they acquired, built more than 250 meters away from the shoreline. The ecosystem at the time included the Shiro Restaurant, Hard Rock Cafe, LandMark Event Center, the cinema, LandMark Towers, and LandMark Boulevard, amongst others. LandMark quickly began experiencing success as it welcomed close to 5,000 weekly visitors. However, the landscape shifted in 2015 with a change in government and ensuing economic downturn under President Buhari.
Nigeria is in an economic crisis. The second largest economy in Africa is facing its worst hardships in decades. Inflation has reached 30%. The cost of food is rising 35%.
Its government brought about a massive recession, and the policies of the government affected businesses in every sector, LandMark included. This led to the increase of the price of goods and services, staff layoffs across all sectors, the depreciation of the naira, and reduction in buying capacity of the people. The repercussions were significant for LandMark, resulting in a sharp decline in its prosperity. With reduced purchasing power, people couldn't indulge in leisure activities as before, leading to a drop in visitor numbers from 5,000 to less than 1,000 weekly visitors. These economic policies' adverse effects were severe, causing all businesses within LandMark to suffer, recording negative sales. At this point, Paul Onwuanibe began brainstorming ideas to attract more visitors to LandMark. Recognizing the potential of the nearby beach, he conceived the plan to develop it, foreseeing that this would attract more people to LandMark Village. Plus, since the coastal road would go through the Water Corporation route, there were no obstacles, and that's how LandMark Beach came to be. In 2017, LandMark initiated the development of the beach, and once finished, LandMark's fortune took a positive turn. They leased spaces to additional businesses, and weekly traffic surged from 1,000 weekly visitors to over 20,000 visitors, more than 800% increase in its revenue. This was a masterstroke of an entrepreneurial move by Paul Onwuanibe, leading to unprecedented success. Nothing could hinder their remarkable achievement at this point.
There are 84 different businesses within LandMark.
84?
Yes. We employ over 2,500 people here directly and 16,000 indirectly. I would say that we're probably looking at something north of $250 million in enterprise value. So one of the things I made up my mind when coming to Africa, I said I wanted to create a business in Africa for Africans, run by Africans. Wow. Right? And that's what we do. We don't have any foreigners working for us. Everybody's African. If I could change one thing in Nigeria, it would be that environment, that enabling environment. I'll create the handshake between the public sector and the private sector.
The popular attraction and tourist destination in the city, LandMark Beach, and is facing a controversial dredging project to make way for a new coastal road.
The Lagos State government has issued a notice of demolition, saying the property obstructs the planned route of a 700-kilometer coastal road intended to connect the state with Calabar.
I think a mistake has been made. I think there'll be more conversations to be had. I'm pretty 95 to 100% sure that this will be reversed and in line with the government's policy of enabling businesses and enhancing businesses. I'm sure we'll be saved.
On the 7th of March 2024, the federal government declared its intention to start constructing the coastal road.
And from day one, we told him that infrastructure will go. LandMark, unfortunately, has made so much noise about this. I had to revisit the place.
Without public explanation, they veered away from the initial plan, opting to run the road along the shoreline instead of following the Water Corporation route. This sudden announcement dealt a severe blow to Paul Onwuanibe and the LandMark group, catching them off guard. They were given a mere 7-day notice to evacuate the beachfront, leaving minimal time for LandMark to engage in negotiations with the government. Following the expiration of the 7-day notice, the demolition and removal of the LandMark beach commenced swiftly. Remarkably, the government's execution of the coastal road construction was unprecedented in its speed. This rapid development raises questions. What is driving this accelerated pace? Is there something the government isn't telling us? And what implications does this hold for LandMark Beach? The building of the coastal road signifies a substantial drop in revenue for LandMark, since the beachfront contributed to over 95% of its income. Here's my take on this situation. Paul Onwuanibe's creation of the LandMark beach was undeniably a brilliant move. However, it's essential to acknowledge that the beachfront doesn't belong to LandMark, and thus the government has the right to request evacuation. Nevertheless, I can't shake the feeling that the government's decision to deviate from the original route and construct along the shoreline may indicate some hidden agenda. Now, what do you guys think? Do you think the government is right for doing what they did? And do you think LandMark could have done anything to avoid this? Please leave your thoughts in the comments below, and please like, share and subscribe. Until I see you on the next one, peace.